to say a few words. So Nicole is one of our planning committee members and has been really passionate about raising both funds and awareness in support of today's event. Not only has she gathered friends and family, she has also done outreach at Georgia College to raise the profile of today's event as well. So please welcome Nicole.
Yay!
Alright, so as you know, I'm Nicole. First of all, I'd just like to thank everybody for being here today. This is huge, not only for me, but for Melanie, Tina, Ken, and their family. So in 2009, I was introduced to Dylan Smith, who's a young man with a strong sense of humor. I feel very privileged that Dylan was in my life for the time that he was. He inspired me to be a better person. At first with Dylan, I had no idea how I could help him, but days after, he showed me the ways. In high school, I began my placement in Dylan's class, assisting the teacher, working in small groups with the students. But I noticed whatever I was doing, Dylan usually wasn't far behind. After I got comfortable with the class, I asked the teacher for a list of diagnoses that each student had in that class. I seen things as fetal alcohol syndrome, ADHD, autism, but I also saw Duchenne muscular dystrophy, something I'd never heard before, something that I didn't even know existed. I finally researched what Duchenne was, and it was the most awful thing I'd ever read. For days after, I felt my heart sink. How could this be? I thought about it, I cried, I got angry, and I even felt guilty. I just didn't know what to do. The more I worked with Dylan, the more I knew I had to make it my goal to find, or at least help find a successful treatment that everybody with Duchenne could use. I did my high school placement in Dylan's class, then volunteered, and also did my college placement. For that, I knew in my lifetime I needed definitely to see Duchenne come to an end. I watched and experienced the heartache firsthand that I wish no family ever had to experience. There were a lot of precious memories made with Dylan, like the field trip to Toronto Zoo, the transition day from Collingwood Collegiate High School, the walks around with the class around the neighborhood, the trip to the Mandarin where Dylan and I fed the fish. My very first time taking a bax lesson with Dylan. But I can't forget the graduation dance. I just can't. But all the times that he got stuck in the snow, he knew he had gone too far too deep, but he still needed something to push him out. And all the ruts that he made in the dirt in the summer. Watching him was just priceless. Now that I realize how precious a memory it is, I cherish those. For all the time I had spent around Dylan, there's just one day I'll never forget. It was one of the first days in the class. The teacher had asked him and I to go photocopy some papers. We did that, no problem. Papers were good. We went back to the classroom. In the school, there were 2 ramps to go up. Dylan made it up, fine the first one, hesitated the second one, and then he looked at me with an awful look at me, Cole, my battery's dead. I thought, oh my gosh, my first day and I'm already going to fail co-op. I was like, wow. So then, dropped the papers, got behind him as fast as I could, and he looked at me and said, I'm just kidding. I was like, oh my gosh, Dylan. So he proceeded on his way up to the classroom. I stood there, I was like, really, Dylan? You just did this to me. I'll never forgive him for that. So days after that, it became a huge joke that you couldn't push an electric wheelchair without changing the settings. So I learned that. But all that being said, I still want to thank everybody for being here. On behalf of my family, Melanie, Tina, and Ken, I still want to thank you all for being here and doing this with us. Thank you.
Yay!
Thank you so much, Nicole.
We love you, Nicole.
And now I'm going to ask Ken to come up and say a few
You're going to
words.
record that.
So unfortunately, Melanie wasn't able to be here today, but Ken is going to say a few words on their behalf of the Walk Unknown.